What's up, everyone? It's your girl Zarinah with Zarinah's Guides. I'm also Bleurain in the game of Upland, which we're discussing right now. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. These are your Friday floors. If you don't know what floors are because you're jumping into Upland and you're like, what's that term mean? Floors are the very lowest price that you can buy on the secondary market in Upland. So this is what like the lowest prices anyone is selling for in all cities. So we're going to go ahead and take a look. The comparison is between now and a week ago. So there's a little comparison between up and down that you're going to see. And I'll go ahead and just show you guys. So looking at our chart here, let's go ahead. It's August 2nd today, like I said. Last time was July 26th when we did this. You can see Arlington is our first city. This is by alphabet, and it's gone down on both sides. So just a smidge on the Epic side, but kind of, over 10% is a little bit of a deal to me when it's going down on the dollar side. So you can see it's gone back down, but not like horrible price. 683 is still way better than $3.15, which you'll see is the price in a lot of these cities. So that's just something we have to deal with. Oops. Sorry, wrong music. I'm gonna get our music back going. Okay, so Bakersfield, we're going to be talking more about Bakersfield later. Keep an eye on the price so you can see that floor. The floor price in Bakersfield is $3.15, which it is in the majority of upland cities, actually. Bakersfield on the upper side did go up a little bit, but not something that I would holler home about. Just enough to be like, okay, it's going up. Berlin, that's went up a lot, like over 10% on the upper side, 22,000. 48 Epic, 22,048, no, 48 Epic, yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's a pretty good floor, but Berlin wasn't necessarily cheap to get into, so keep that in mind. But as far as the dollar side, it's gone down 8%. $6.56 is still above the $3.15 floor that you'll find a lot of places. So if you're thinking of selling for $50, you might consider selling right now in Berlin. The meter went up nicely on the Epic side, and on the dollar side, it's back within the $5 range, which is good. And also looking at it, if you see Epic side is 15,750, which there are not a lot of actual properties that were super above that. The non-FSA players, but for others who are FSA players, you may still be able to get something there. I'm not quoting check looking for these FSA players. Let me turn that music down just a smidge. All right, so looking at Birmingham, this has gone up on the Epic side, but it's just hitting just one of our $3.15 floors. But on the Epic side, it is up into the 9,975 range, so almost a 10,000 Epics there. And that's it's over 10% jump, so not too bad. Bronx is sitting pretty still, but on the dollar side, it went up some. It has been dropped to 315, I think. Yep, it did, and then it went back up. So the Bronx is another one you want to watch for the nodes we'll be discussing later, because there's some pretty good nodes that are way above floor that you really can't really get into, like More Cheese's Bronxdale node. So keep that in mind. There's some good nodes that you're probably not going to be able to get into because they're just really, really expensive and minted out. Anyways, Brooklyn didn't do anything. It stayed the same. It's where it was last week, so the floor didn't move. Buenos Aires went down a lot on both sides. On the upper side, it dropped, and on the dollar side, it dropped from its $3.68, or climbing towards $4, back down to $3.15. And yeah, that's what it did. Chicago went up a little bit on the Epic side, but it's still doing the same thing. I'm not moving on the dollar side. There's a long list of people who are selling for $3.15 in these cities. And so I was actually thinking, as part of my gameplay, I need to go ahead and put myself in that list of players who are selling out for $3.15. But I don't really have a lot of properties that I necessarily want to sell for that price, which is why I just haven't jumped in line. But I do think I could be capitalizing on my Epics that I'm earning by buying in these cities, like spending my 6,000 Epics or 5,565 Epics to buy a property just to flip it and get in line for that $3.15, because that wouldn't be a bad flip. Cleveland did go down a little on the Epic side. It's also only $3.15 for the dollar side floor. Dallas going down on the Epic side, and I want to say Freaky Man might be selling there, because it went back up into a little bit higher range after this one. $4.19 is not bad, but it ain't great. So it is what it is. It didn't change. Detroit didn't move either. It's staying the same. Lots of jailbirds setting the floor on the upper side, so watch out for them. In Fresno, we went up some a little bit. You can see it's 7,854 for the cheapest property there in secondary. $3.15 floor though for that. Kansas City and Las Vegas. But looking at Las Vegas and Kansas City on the upper side, they went up just a little. Wondering if some of these new players getting in the game will increase some of these floors as more players become interested in these different cities. London went down on the upper side, but it did go up on the dollar side. But the dollar side is relatively cheap for a place like London, and it makes me think I might go buy some of these London properties and swoop them up myself. But I don't know. I'm just, at one point you can see it was down to $5.86 last week. So I kind of have been debating, like, should I try to catch it on a lower end? Is there going to be a lower end coming? I don't know. Can't speculate or predict that. Los Angeles going up a little bit on the upper side. We're going to be talking about a node there in LA as well. So check out that floor price. It's $3.15. We'll compare that to the node price just a little bit later. Zelle actually did move up. Someone bought that property that was like, what was it, $152.25? That sold. But this one at 178 is not selling. I'm almost curious if this person should just drop their price to the 150 range to sell it if they really want to. Manhattan going down just a little bit, but the dollar side's also going down, and it's under $20. So, it makes me think that maybe it's a good time to buy some Manhattan, because that's just a place I love. I just think it's a hot city, and it will be great to own and sell later if it's going to ever do anything. We'll see. Miami didn't do much on the upper side, but it did go up a little on the dollar side. Not too bad, going up $5.78 and $5.15. Nashville, though, going down on the upper side and remaining at $3.15. New Orleans also going down on the upper side and staying at $3.15. And Oakland dropped into the $3.15 range and also dropped on the upper side. Paris just arrived. We don't have a dollar amount just yet, but tomorrow we should get those in. But we do have an UPEX floor of 19,834, and I think that may end up going up. Paris is hot. I think it's one of the best releases. People really seem to be excited about the properties they're getting. These build challenges with the unique structure have added to wanting to compare like different properties, because you might not be able to fit the structure on the properties you currently have and may need to buy some more just to get those unique structures, unless you think of just buying a structure later on the secondary. But I definitely am going to try myself to buy, or to not really buy, but to have to build all the properties that they offer. And if I don't have something big enough, I would probably look to be seeing what that dollar market does look like in the next coming days, and maybe going to hopefully scoop up some undermint. We'll see. Porto going down on the UPEX side and not doing anything on the dollar side. And I was just thinking, Porto is like, it's in Portugal, but it's not getting a whole lot of notice. It's not, the floor is not really like what you see, like, for example, in London. It's just interesting how these cities are not like more expensive. I don't know. Anyways, Queens, we do have a few nodes in Queens. So these floors for Queens, you might run into some areas that are way higher than these floors, because there's definitely a lot of different groups that are trying to put up neighborhoods in Queens. So keep that in mind. Rio de Janeiro is one of the places where I have a node. I'm a part of a node community there we'll talk about. But the floor there also only $3.15, and lots of properties under 5,000 UPEX. So still a good place to scoop up some UPEX side properties, and I think get in line to flip them. That might be a good way to use your UPEX that you're earning from your treasure hunts, or just your daily yield. Rutherford going down on the UPEX side and also crashing into the $15 range on the dollar side. I'm very curious myself about scooping some of these up. I actually ended up buying, I'll tell you in a second where I bought, but for now, St. Denis is 10,489 UPEX for the floor. I foresee this really going down, especially once we get to the $3.15 floor. So they're inevitably going to end up being these FSA players. So it's an FSA city, so I can't see that floor not being $3.15. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think this UPEX side is probably going to drop. It might drop to where you see, for example, Slough later, which have a whole little clip on that we're going to watch. All right, so that's St. Denis. Or I hope it's not Denise. I'm not sure. It could be Denise. Okay, San Francisco, up on both sides, but check out this dollar side, $6.23. I mean, this $6 San Francisco, there's a few of them. This is tempting. I'm not gonna lie. It's tempting me to go in there and just buy some San Francisco because you never know what's gonna happen with that Treasure Island property. Maybe just being in San Francisco would be a good thing. I don't know. So, but Santa Clara. So here's the place. I have to just go ahead and tell you, I saw this property for $8.49. And it was a size 55 UP2, which is a lot bigger than the ones that are currently at the floor. So I went ahead and grabbed that because, yeah, it was under $10.49, as you can see. And it was bigger than this property that's being sold, which I think is like only 7 UP2. So yeah, you got me in that Santa Clara deal. I had to grab it. But these San Francisco for $6 really are tempting. I might do it. Might get back in there. But Sao Paulo not doing much on the upper side. Went up a smidge under 1%. $3.15. Getting right here, Slough, which let's go ahead and I want to show you guys something really quick. Hang on, I'm going to stop this screen share and present something else. Let's see. I'm going to go with the window, I think. I think it's over there. Oh, maybe not. Let's do my entire screen real quick. Just really quick. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy for a second, but I think you can handle it. There it is. There's this. Okay, so not sure if I should be pronouncing it the English way, Slough, or if I should pronounce it the American way where I'm at, Slough. But I'm going to stick with Slough. I'd rather say it the way it's said where it's at than say it the Americanized way. So over in Slough, it did go down on the upper side, and it looked again really tempting. So you scoop up a whole bunch of these 3,318 UPX properties and then flip them for $3.15. You're not really losing on your UPX. That's a really good flip. So I might be going and buying me some Slough, or in America, Slough. All right, going up. South Lake Tahoe, or not Tahoe, you can tell I'm hungry. South Lake Tahoe went down on the other side, but up until $6.30 range, which is a nice jump from that $5.24 it was being sold for last week. So not too bad for that. Staten Island going down a lot on the UPX side, 24%, almost 1/4% down to 6,300 UPX. There's a few of them for that price for the same seller if you're interested. Staten Island also going down on the dollar side to $3.15. Stockton moving up just a smidge, 4,011, but still probably pretty decent deal. $3.15 is the floor. Tokyo went down on the UPX side, but it went up on that dollar side, $6.83. And Trenton went down onto the UPX side. That was like a pretty good jump, 3,885. So it might be a good time for us non-FFA players to buy some Trenton. So at $50.15 and get in that line. Washington, D.C. has dropped on both sides. And it's interesting because I thought it might creep back up considering we're still in that political season. And now we have some more MetaVentures there. So people who are hunting, who love it there, they love to hunt. So if you're a MetaVenture operator, you want to have your business in Washington, D.C. so people don't have to travel and pick up your goods. Some people like that. They like to just stay in where they're hunting. So putting MetaVentures where people are hunting, good idea. All right, guys, that's it for the floor. Nothing more for you. Oh my gosh, got my makeup spraying all over my face. Check out my other videos. Check out my game show, Leading Answer, which if you haven't seen it, you should. Definitely the world's best new online game show. You can join the Discord now. If you don't know about the Discord, hit me up in the DMs and in my comments, and I will give you a shout out or friend you or whatever you need to get you linked into the Discord. All right, everybody, take care, and I will see you guys in Upland.